Owned Good Karma brand station. Sunday. The biggest sports stories of the week.
I think that is the attitude you should have. But if the first thing you bring up when you look at the standings is Craig Counsell, then he has real estate in your head.
I don't think you can even argue.
No argument.
The Green Bay
no
Packers
argument
were
the way it ended. But like I just said it, like they were 7-8 last year against everyone besides the Bears, right?
Unique and compelling analysis and opinions when it comes to your favorite teams.
As much as they want, because both teams are good and that game to be
Kyle, you're not feeling this.
Jason knows I'm not feeling
Kyle
it.
and I have already had this argument.
Yeah.
You hate that I feel.
What else was on the WB back then? What else did I miss?
You probably saw the Wayans brothers, right?
Yeah.
The Jamie Foxx show. Come on now, Craig. Come on, Craig. You know the Jamie Foxx show?
No.
You know
This is Sunday Karma, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Here's GKB founder and CEO Craig Karma. Sunday.
And good morning. Wow, last night was interesting. Where were you last night, Kyle?
in the confines of my own home.
What?
Yeah. Where was I supposed to be?
SZA?
Oh, I'm SZA broke. Can't afford SZA.
Yeah. SZA at Summerfest.
Did you go to SZA?
Oh, did I go to SZA? Of course I went to SZA.
Oh, wait a minute. So you were there with Kim K?
I saw Kim Kardashian last night. I was.
Oh, you were that close, huh? You was rubbing shoulders with Kim K.
I didn't rub shoulders with her. She walked past me, so I ran into.
What were you doing at SZA, anyways? Is your daughter a fan of SZA?
She's a huge fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
SZA's in Harper's top 3.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure
Well,
the demographic of people who listen to Sunday Karma and the people who know who SZA is.
It's very low.
What do you think?
Very low, less than 5% of
Zero?
people listen. Yeah, even on the truth, anybody above the age of like 45 has no idea.
Wait.
who SZA is.
What do you think right now? Do you think we could get someone to call who was at the show or knows who SZA is?
We have some parents, but we can get somebody. But if we did a poll, less than 10% of people on our poll on ESPN Wisconsin would know who SZA was. And she's a star.
By the way, if you were at the SZA show, hit us up right now because it was wild. It was wild. Whether you were there for your kid or your parent, hit us up if you were at the SZA show last night. 800-990-ESPN. It is 800-990-3776. Kim Kardashian. So I ran into Sarah, who runs Summerfest.
Oh.
And so she was like, oh, because, I brought my daughter and 2 of her friends. So it was the 4 of us. But, my daughter's a teenager, so she didn't want to be next to me or have me That's like embarrassing to have the parent standing with you the whole time, if possible, right? But I wasn't going to let her go by herself, right? So there's that balance. And so I walked them to their seats, and then I was just going to kind of I didn't even know what I was going to do. I was lucky I ran to Sarah. She's like, oh, let me show you this little VIP area we have, and maybe you can hang out in there.
Oh, what if I run into Sarah? Will she let me hang out in the VIP area? What are you going to do? Go to your seat. What do you mean? What are you going to do? You're going to go to your seat, weren't you?
I didn't want to embarrass Harper. I was probably going to either stand in the back or stand by the concession stand or
You didn't buy a separate seat away from them?
No, I didn't do that move.
Or you could have did the general admission. Could have been in the lawn.
Yeah. That would have been a bad move last night.
Very bad move.
Because last night, we also, when we got to Summerfest, and we'll get into our Kim Kardashian, but when we got to Summerfest, it was not just raining, but it was wild, right? Last night was, there were tornado warnings down in Walworth, Kenosha County. There were tornado watches. There were thunderstorm warnings. There was hail, all sorts of warnings and stuff going on. So there was a 2-minute period where they thought they were evacuating all of Summerfest, but they didn't. What they did was put a hold. So, and the staff there did a great job. And think about trying to do something like that with a bunch of seasonal, kids, right? A lot of people who work there are kids, and you're trying to have backup plans, have all the different communications, keep everyone safe, make sure, obviously, structurally, everything's okay. So we end up, as we're about to get in, they put a hold on Summerfest. So people can leave, no bands are playing, but you can't get in. And so we actually stood outside in the pouring, when it was like the rain and everything was the worst, for like 45 straight minutes. But we were covered. Summerfest had areas for us to stand, so that was all good. So then we get in. So the girls go to their seats, and by the way, no one is called from the SZA show. So I was the only one of everyone with Sunday Karma right now. 800-990.
Had to be very affluent to be there.
ESPN, 800-990-3776. You say that, Kyle?
Did I say that?
There were 24,000 people or so there.
So a lot of people put their whole check towards it. I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
It was worth it. I'm sure it was. I wanted to go.
I do not. I was at Billy Joel at Soldier Field on Friday night. I would say that was a more affluent crowd. Again, I didn't look at anyone's pay stubs last night, but just based on the pure age and the age of things, like I can't imagine that it was a luxury demographic that was there last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was
young.
Sure worth it. Yeah, I'm sure it was very. I don't. I'm so old now that I don't know who likes what. I really don't.
Yeah. So we get in, and so first of all, SZA, originally the show was supposed to start 7:30. She was going to come out by like 10, but she didn't end up coming out till 10:30 because of the rain and everything. So there was just a DJ who was spinning.
Is that DJ Gemini Gilly?
Maybe.
Was it a young black girl skinny?
I don't know. I didn't.
Oh, you couldn't see her?
No, I think it was a he.
Oh, okay.
The crowd was going insane, singing all these songs, doing all these things. I didn't know any of the music they were spinning. It was crazy, but everyone knew like every song, and there were like all interactive stuff going on. It was pretty wild. So then I see Sarah from Summerfest, and she's like, "Oh, let me show you the VIP area." Not as many, not as crowded for SZA, because probably not as many sponsors are there to see SZA.
Ooh.
Right? Because you said it's a younger demographic, and a lot of the sponsors tend to be older, right? So maybe like their kids were there, like I was there with my kid. So as we're walking in, we see like 2 security guards coming toward us, and then it was like the lights shined, the rain stopped, everything stopped, and Kim Kardashian walks right by us. Like,
oh, did you take a photo, or no? You can't do that in VIP.
No, I wasn't in the VIP yet. I was actually just walking toward it. She was in the regular area. She wasn't in the VIP at all.
She seemed like she was gated.
She was just walking up the aisle. Like she was walking up the aisle, like back to wherever. I don't even know where she was going, but she ended up being in the mix because I saw a lot of the crowd just like staring at her and like doing stuff for a while. So she was leaving her seat to go somewhere because it was still like about an hour before the show ended up starting, maybe 45 minutes. But Kim Kardashian, how about that? For all the talk of Milwaukee, for her daughter's birthday, she took her daughter and her friends to Milwaukee for her birthday.
The daughter and the friends were there?
Northwest was in the house.
I heard, I didn't see any photos of Northwest.
Yeah, Northwest was in the house. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Took her all the way to Milwaukee, probably a low-key city to be able to enjoy.
Yeah.
To see SZA. And I know that you're not talking about this for this purpose, but I don't really understand why Kim K is famous. Is she like a TV star? Is that reality star? Is that why she's famous?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, reality star. All right, that makes sense.
I mean, why is anyone famous these days?
Reality
right?
stars. It really is.
Yep, she's a reality star, but she's also an entrepreneur. She's famous as a business person now, right? Like with all her products
Skims or something like that.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Summerfest did an incredible job. Get out there and see it. The new format, I think some people still getting used to, but even in the worst of conditions, the Summerfest staff was excellent last night, and SZA was, I guess not. I thought we'd have like 30 people calling in, like, "Yo, SZA was hot." No, I didn't think any. All right, should I give the numbers again, or you don't think any SZA
I'm telling you, SZA, when on The Truth, when people over the age of 40 say SZA, I don't know who SZA is.
Yeah.
They really don't.
I like, those Venn diagrams where it's like a circle and then it overlaps the circle. Like, I think the SZA circle and the Sunday Karma circle, like, it looks like I'm the only one in the little in between. Now, I'm not a SZA listener normally, so I was just there because my daughter.
Did you enjoy the concert?
Yeah,
though?
she was really
She's
talented.
a great singer, isn't she?
She was sick too. So, but she was because she sings like everything from like hip hop to like rock music to R&B. She covered Doja Cat. She was great. I mean, she's really talented. She was really, really good. So it was very impressive. And
I
I
know
think
Drake used to talk to SZA back in 2008.
Oh, she did cover Drake in a song.
Oh, look at that.
And then she did with one song, she was like, "This is about my ex. He has me blocked on every social media and all that." I don't know.
That must be a strong ex.
I don't know if she was talking about Drake when that, or if you, by them talking, you didn't mean that he was an ex. So
I don't know. That's what he said in the song.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. But again, very talented, very great performance by the Summerfest team through difficulties.
Any more shows you going to at Summerfest at all?
I have nothing else booked as of this point. I'm more of a get to Summerfest during the day, hit like don't go for a specific band, like or group or artist. Like I like going in the mix because I don't feel like I'm not into like one big like musician. Like I'm not a big music person. I'm more about the vibe and like hanging out and seeing people. You know, I was there on what night was that? I was there Thursday night.
So I heard, Craig. So I heard.
Yeah. So why are you saying I'm grumpy?
Yeah. So I heard that, I've known you now since 2009.
Yeah.
2009 when I first met you at the pitch hit and run competition at Hellfair Field. Never forget. And, as we get older and as I've seen, we get grumpier. Would you agree?
No.
Well, sources close to the Sunday Karma family and program told me that we saw Grumpy Craig come out Thursday as you were at, we have our ESPN Wisconsin, or I should say ESPN Milwaukee, 620 WTMJ and 1017 The 2 Street team, where individuals who come on by the lakefront want to shoot a basket. They shoot a basket.
Yeah.
They make the basket. You make one, you get chapstick. You make two, you get some other prize. You make three, you get a T-shirt.
Yep.
And so from what I've been told is that you became a grump on Thursday when a young teenage boy doing what they do, being little rascals, he caught the ball. I guess he pump faked like he was going to shoot, went in for a dunk like he was Kobe.
Yep.
And then
he didn't go in for a dunk like he was Kobe.
And then when he was going to shoot his free throws, you said, "Nope, get out of line."
Yeah, so get to the back of the line.
I was told you got kicked. I was told you kicked him out the line, Craig. I said, "Oh, Craig is becoming a grumpy old man. You're kicking kids out of lines at Summerfest when they trying to do windmills."
No. First of all, I mean, definitely kind of a little punk kid.
Oh, wow.
Like, he had this
Punk kid, huh?
Yeah. He was kind of a punk kid, but the thing is like there was a line of like 15 people.
Yeah, it was a very long line. It's a very, very hot item.
So the time he took, like, it was cool. Like, he like went and did his little dunk.
A little dunk wasn't a windmill 360 East Bay through the legs?
No, through the legs. I mean, and he wasn't a kid. He was like he was probably
I was told he was 13, 14.
Yeah, he probably was.
Oh, he's a teenager. He's your daughter's age.
Yeah. So probably a teenager. Looked like one of these, like I'm trying to picture, like, I mean, looked like Eminem, let's just say.
Oh, wow. This is discrimination against Eminem.
No, I'm just trying to picture who, like, what famous person he may look like. Right?
Like from 8 Mile.
Yeah. So he came and did his dunk, and that he had taken a shot and airballed the first shot. First of all.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he'd airballed the first shot. You're supposed to get 3 shots. By the time he did his dunk and all that, he had taken way more time than we had things moving if you're taking 3 shots. So I'm not trying to disrespect the people in the back of the line and slow things down.
So you're a man of the people. That's what you're saying. You said information I was given was not accurate. You are a man of the people.
Wait. So you're saying the guy does that, and so then does everyone get to do that and take all the time, and like then people are waiting in line longer?
Hey,
how's that grumpy?
The only news I got is that Craig gave somebody the boot, Craig gave a child the boot from the line after the child dunked in front of his friends and family to show how cool he was, and Craig kicked him out of the line. That's all. The only information I got. I said
that is fact. That is fact. But it was not grumpy. It was trying to be respectful to the people on the line.
You know, Craig, you could be a politician. The way you spent that story, because the headline news that I got was founder and CEO of Good Karma Brands, Craig Karmazin, has kicked a child out of a line.
All right, well, now let's get, we had all the callers calling for SZA. Hey, if you saw me out at Summerfest on Thursday when I was working the basketball hoop, give a call now, because I think, I was there. I may have gotten there late for my shift, but I was there for straight through, 8 o'clock.
You stayed till 8, huh?
Yeah, that's what it said on the thing.
No, that's what's up. I left at like 5:15 that day.
I saw people trying to creep out, but no, I was there till 8. 800-990-ESPN. If I kicked you out of line, if I was respectful, let's hear how I treated you. We'll take those calls. And I got to tell you, did you hear about how the Colorado Rockies game ended?
No.
All right, this is the craziest thing, and I got to bring it back to your life and see if you have any comparisons to this. That is what we were talking about. All right, still, if you were with us at SZA last night, or you saw me on Thursday night at Summerfest. By the way, so many, Kyle, so many Sunday Karma people coming up, which was awesome on Thursday at Summerfest when I was working the hoop.
That's what's up, showing you some love.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to everyone who did come by on Thursday night at Summerfest when we were working the ESPN Truth TMJ booth there. We will tell Kyle, this is the wildest finish to a game that you could even imagine. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Sunday Night Baseball is in the Windy City this week as a couple of squads look to make their way out of the basement.
Near the wall, looks up, it's gone! Ian Happ gives the Cubs a cushion.
The Cubs host the Mets at Wrigley Field.
Pete Alonso with a 3-run homer, and the Mets have taken a 4-1 lead.
Our Sunday Night Baseball coverage starts at 5 o'clock. We are your home for Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio, 94.5 ESPN, and streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Sam Steiner is joining me. How important is it that actual surgery is viewed as a last option?
The way we always want to treat people is try and do something least invasive to get people where they want to be. And in some cases, that means talking to them, setting them up with a therapist, explaining what they have going on. And in other cases, if it comes to it, then yes, it means operating on them.
When you're dealing with very active people, how do you help them handle the entire process of recovery?
The hardest part with some patients is explain to them that even though you feel great, you do have to have a period where you lay off, you adhere to precautions and protocol. But I think when you take a person, you have them do the least invasive procedure. That's what we want to do, is we want to be forefront, cutting edge, doing the least invasive possible to get people back onto a protocol that gets them back into the activity they want to do the fastest.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same-day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. With fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Grab a Coke and grab some cash with the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab, only from Quick Trip. Play daily in your Quick Rewards app for a chance to win up to $250,000. Earn extra chances to enter by purchasing any qualified Coke, Monster Energy, Powerade, Body Armor, Smart Water, or Core Power Elite products with Quick Rewards. Summer just got a whole lot cooler with Quick Trip and Coca-Cola. No purchase necessary. See QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. The crew is winning ball games here in Milwaukee and around the country. Our team stands ready to help your organization win across North America. Powered by Coakley Connect, our revolutionary facilities management platform. The Coakley Crew supports clients across the country manage their real estate portfolio, offering facility-focused products and services, interior design, construction, new furniture, installation, and move management. We'll help you create and manage interior environments that drive your teams forward. Visit CoakleyBrothers.com and hit a home run.
Tomorrow's business leaders are in our classrooms today. With our exciting programs in business, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin ignites the entrepreneurial spirit in young minds through the development of business plans, the study of market needs, and the experience of real-world applications. Help us foster the next generation of innovators. Learn how you can support or get involved in Junior Achievement's entrepreneurship programs at wisconsin.ja.org. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Does this make you think of somebody?
Who's this?
You know who
Just
this
kidding.
is. This is SCA.
Just kidding.
Who do you think of when you hear this song?
Nobody.
So you don't think of anybody?
No.
Another random question.
Yeah.
So this weekend I had a birthday party I went to, a 6-year-old birthday party where there was no friends there, just all family and friends.
A what birthday party?
A 6-year-old, two twins.
6. Okay, I don't know if you were saying 60 or 6.
No, 6. A 6-year-old birthday party, but they're twins, so it's 2 of them.
Yep.
And they're basically family friends and the parents' friends and their kids there, which I'm like, this isn't a birthday party, this is a family gathering. And they were talking about one of their friends.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
It was.
You're saying
it
like
was a family gathering.
You're saying there weren't enough friends?
They didn't have any friends there. It was the parents' friends, children who were there, and then the cousins. So it's not a birthday party; it's a family gathering that happens to be, a birthday celebration.
So I do think people and Harper's never had birthday parties. She's never been into that. But
really,
yeah, she not never. Her last one was maybe 6 years
10?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically you stop doing them around 10.
Yeah, I think people will have a fan, we'll do something for the kids and then we'll do something for the family when you're 6. So I don't think that's that outside.
I had birthday parties since the age of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, kids from the daycare, not daycare, I guess I was 5. Kids from kindergarten class, you still got the pictures. But my question here is that because as we're talking about this song Snooze, which talks about I can't snooze, I can't lose when I'm with you because it's a love song. And there's this young lady who I met a couple years ago. And
are you about to get yourself in trouble with your lady friend?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
And so, there's a lot of dating apps out there.
And I am going to talk about this Rockies thing. Yeah, coming up.
I'm just very curious.
Yeah.
As we're trying to find, I'm sure you're still trying to find love. And so
you're sure of that. Okay.
maybe I'm wrong. But so, you have the Hinges, the Bumbles, the Tinders.
Yeah.
And then also, did you know they have, and you may know, there's another dating app for people who are wealthy, famous. There's another dating app only for exclusive people. And I say this because the young lady I met who was on that dating app, she told me about it a couple years ago, found love, and now she got married this past weekend. I'm like, dang, maybe we got to get Craig on that, nice dating app.
Yeah, I like
Can't be with the normal
for those
Bumbles.
people who are the people who are watching on YouTube are watching you just keep raising your hands up to represent this dating app.
Because you got the normal folks, the Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, and then you got obviously the exclusive folks. But I don't even know what it's called. But I know she's pretty high up, and she made it in life, and she's well off. She works in the pro sports world. You actually may know who she is, and she's on this. She had this app for people who are above us mere normal people.
I mean, it's not
mere mortals.
I don't think it's that, right? It's just different. It's going to a different nightclub, right? Isn't that what people do? If you're trying to meet people, you can go to a different establishment.
Well, typically, if I can pay to get into different establishments, I might go broke paying money to get into a different establishment. But my checks ain't big enough to be able to get invited to. I even know this existed.
Yeah, I think you could get into that kind of stuff. You have a pretty big title, and you have pictures of you hanging at the White House and all that.
Very true. But based off what her level of success, I'm just saying, Craig. Man, I know. I want you to have somebody to think of when you hear "Snooze" by SZA.
There are definitely. I mean, there's ones for farmers. There's ones for just about everything. That doesn't surprise me that there'd be dating apps for that run the gamut of all different sorts of things.
I just want you to make sure you can find love like this. I'm telling you, every time I hear this song, I think of one person.
Me? Wow, that's scary that you think of me every time you hear a love song.
You wish.
That is. See, I'm not looking for love in that way. Certainly with you. So Colorado Rockies last night go up a run going into or down a run against the Nationals going into the ninth inning. They put together like 4 straight singles. They tie the game. All of a sudden, it's bases loaded, 3-2 pitch, and the Rockies win. How do you think they won?
They were down 1 run?
It was tied. Bases loaded. Nope.
Wild pitch?
Nope. No. It was a 3-2 pitch, and then they won.
A 3-2 pitch, and then they won.
Like the 3-2 pitch. The 3-2 pitch is upcoming, and then they won.
Before the pitch even came?
Yep.
Did they steal home?
Nope. They won the game on a pitch clock violation.
Oh, wow.
A walk-off.
That's the first, right?
First time in history a team has had a walk-off pitch clock violation win.
Oh, that's tough.
Can you imagine, being on, ultimately either side of that, right? I think instantly your heart goes to the pitcher and the team that lost, and it's their fault, right? It's clear there's a pitch clock. You wouldn't be like, oh, in the NFL, they took a delay a game when they shouldn't have, so I feel bad for them. They shouldn't have counted the clock. The clock is the clock. But that is as sudden an end to a game, right, as you could imagine, and either as exhilarating or heartbreaking. When, Kyle has audio. Look at that. I didn't even prepare him. This is how good a producer Kyle is. Let's listen in.
3-2. No pitch. The pitch clock violation is going to end the game. Wow.
The celebration, but I guess I would celebrate
too. Scores. Rockies winning 8.
Now, could you see the pitch when you were saying that?
Yeah, the pitch looked a little outside, too.
So you think it would have been a walk anyway?
It looked like it. I don't know. The batter seemed a little frustrated. I don't think he knew what was going on 100% when it happened.
Yeah.
But, that is a tough way to lose.
So what is the game that you think of when you think of either a win or a loss, Kyle, that was the most sudden, either heartbreaking or exhilarating win or loss that you've experienced as a player or as a fan in sports? Like that game where it was just like, oh my God, it's over, we just won, or oh my God, it's over, we just lost.
Yeah.
What's that instant thing that comes to your mind?
So the first thing that came to my mind was as a fan, and it was the Wisconsin Badgers.
Michigan State?
No, not
Ohio State?
No, losses hurt more than wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Russell Wilson's year, because that came to my mind right away.
Oh, yeah, that Michigan State was tough.
Yeah, the Michigan State one.
Craig, when Wisconsin went up against Florida, I believe it was, and then they
you're talking about basketball?
In the NCAA tournament of Sweet 16, and Florida
I feel
hit
like
the buzzer
Aaron
beater.
Rodgers was there. And
you know what? There's a lot of heartbreak because you had Aaron, the Kentucky one, but the one against Florida hurt as well.
No. But in terms of sudden, because the Kentucky one,
there might have been
that wasn't like a buzzer beater, right?
Well, the one again't I'm pretty sure the one against Florida was a buzzer beater. I remember I turned off the TV and I decided to go out that night.
Because what's his name? Showalter. Showalter had hit the shot to send it to overtime, right? Zach hit
potentially.
He hit
I just remember how it ended.
Yeah, I actually came back from a Bucks game, I think, and saw the end of that. Zach Showalter, and someone will correct me if I'm off on this. I think Zach Showalter hit a 3, did the belt because Aaron Rodgers was there, and it was like a crazy great moment where and this was after a lot of those top players from the Final Four team were gone. but Nigel Hayes was still there, and they were holding on.
Yeah, they were barely holding on. This would have pushed them out to the Elite Eight.
And yeah, so Showalter, I think, hits the 3 to send them to overtime, and then they're in good shape to win.
They're up 2 with 4 seconds left.
And I think it's a running. I don't remember if it banked. Did it bank in even?
I think it went on net.
But it was running.
It was a running shot. He kind of shot from the
from
3-point
Florida.
line. Yeah, and they hit it.
Yeah,
I couldn't. Disbelief, because the year before that they lost to Notre Dame.
That is a good one.
But
that is a good. All right, we got Jason Wilde coming up, but drop him in on the talking text line 800-990 ESPN. It's 800-990-3776. In honor of the Rockies winning a game on a pitch clock violation, what is that walk-off win or loss that sticks with you the most in sports? Most memorable walk-off win or loss in sports. You can call while Wildy's on, or you could text us on the text line 800-990-ESPN. That's 800-990-3776. Jason Wilde joins us as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sunday. It's racing season at the legendary Great Lakes Dragaway, and our schedule of events is ready. We've still got our yearly holiday weekend races like Labor Day weekend, plus Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Night of Fire. You can also book corporate and private events. Take advantage of our season-long passes and even schedule a time to take your car down the legendary quarter mile. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Even when you get a great price, diamonds cost a lot of money.
But we want you to be able to buy the engagement ring you really want.
You won't have to settle for anything less than fantastic when you come to Kessler's.
We do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
Friendly financing makes it possible.
We can give you 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit.
And with approved credit, we can give you 36 months to pay with just 9.99%.
And if getting your credit approved is a problem, we've even got second chance financing for people who deserve a second chance.
Don't settle for second best. Come to Kessler's.
Seriously, we do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
That's the sort of thing you can expect from us when you hear us say, "Welcome to Kessler's."
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com. And one more thing. Welcome to Kessler's.
Hey everybody, it's time for the excitement of summer sports. And I say the best way to take summer sports excitement to the next level is with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Game on. With a community of over 5 million players, Prize Picks is the most exciting way to get in on summer sports action while watching your favorite teams and players. Baseball, America's pastime, is just starting up, while soccer, pro tennis, esports, and especially women's basketball are more popular than ever. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. And with Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 during a single game this summer. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you're locked and loaded. So get ready to enjoy the best fantasy sports app available. Download the Prize Picks app now. Enter code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Enter code WI on the Prize Picks app for a first deposit match up to $100.
Who's ready to save a bucket load at Fleet Farm? Just buy one of our signature 5-gallon buckets for $3.99 and get 15% off anything that fits inside it. Save on Daiwa, Daredevil, and Trilene, DeWalt, and Milwaukee hand tools. Save on snacks, grilling gear, and more. Any qualifying products that fit in the bucket are 15% off now through June 26th. Our bucket sale is just another great way to save on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Junior Achievement is where dreams take flight. We are helping students connect what they learn in school to future work and career success. We are teaching them how to manage money to achieve financial security as adults. And we are showing them that starting a business also means changing lives and communities. However, we can't do it alone. Find out how you can help.
Hey, Dad. Your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Jason Wilde is brought to you by Boucher Automotive, where we ride with you every mile. 18 dealerships, 15 brands, and thousands of vehicles in stock. Check them out at Boucher.com.
The dogs are barking, SZA's rocking. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, I rocked the SZA concert. You have do you ever hit the concerts with the kids? You have a memorable concert that you've gone to with the girls?
Pink at AmFam Field. Probably the best live show I've ever seen. I mean, she flew through the air with the greatest of ease on like a zip line. It was amazing. And the music was obviously awesome too. So that one by far would be the one that I remember going to with the girls. That was last summer.
SZA, Pink, absolutely amazing performer. So Jason, let's actually get into what we were just talking about. Last night, the Colorado Rockies won a game on a pitch clock violation. So it just walked off on a pitch clock. In your time around sports, whether it's on the winning side or the losing side, what's your most memorable walk-off moment as a sports journalist or a sports fan?
Al Harris's pick six against the Seahawks. Much more exciting.
Oh my God. That is a stunning one. That is so high on the list because you're sitting there and Seattle has the ball and there's no way any of our brains are thinking that. That's a really good one. Give us a good story about that day.
Yeah, so not only is it obviously an incredibly memorable play, it was the first NFL playoff game to end in overtime on a defensive touchdown. Obviously, the Packers would be on the other end of that experience.
Oh, that's that Arizona that Arizona fumble interception, whatever that thing was. Forgot about that.
When Rodgers got face masked. Yeah. So,
by the way, those are two good ones. I don't know why, but the Arizona loss, it kind of felt like they were losing that game to me anyway. I don't know if that was just me. That one isn't as crushing as some other Packers losses. That one felt like they were like kind of lucky to be in that spot at that time. But let's go back to Seattle.
Well, yeah, I mean, just quickly on the Arizona one. I mean, they went back and forth. They end up it's a 45-45 game going to overtime. And what people forget because of the fumble on which Rodgers was face masked was that a play earlier or two plays earlier, Rodgers misses Greg Jennings wide open for what would have been like a 70-yard touchdown that would have won the game too. So that was a great game to cover. It was, on a personal level, a nervous game to cover because Paula was pregnant with Maddie and was due any day. And Mike McCarthy, again, I like to always bring this up because of the kind of person he is, said that if Paula went into labor, that he would fly me back on the team charter, which does not happen for reporters ever. It did once upon a time, but not in many, many years. And so to get me home in time, he was going to take me with him with the team. So that game is very memorable for me.
Now, was that like, hey, she's going to have a baby. She's like 7.5 months. She's like 8.5 months. She's 9 months. Like, how close are we to the due date at this point?
I think Maddie was born 2 days later.
Wow. That's legit. I mean, that's right up there. Wait, let's as Jason sets the table, let's listen in to Matt Hasselbeck.
What do you call? I like to call heads. Heads is called. Heads! We want the ball, we're going to score.
Hass. We've had him on a few times because obviously Tausch played with him, and he always likes to point out that Amon Green and Ryan Longwell were out there for the coin toss, and he was just giving them grief. He didn't realize that it was going to go out over the loudspeaker, and he obviously made a lot of people remember that moment. Now, that said, let's not forget, the Packers actually had a possession before Al Harris's interception. So the Packers defense got a stop on Matt Hasselbeck in the offense.
Oh, wow. I didn't remember that.
With the ball.
I did not remember that at all. So it wasn't Hasselbeck comes out, first possession, throws the pick when he says, we got the ball and we're going to score. So they get stopped. Packers get the ball. And wait, that's Favre?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Favre, not Rodgers. So Favre gets stopped on the next drive. Then he throws the pick.
Yep. And Al Harris famously has his pointer finger up as he's running up the sideline with the ball, and then crosses the goal line. And, memorable play, one of the most historic plays in recent Packers history over the last 25 years. And he takes the ball, which probably would have wound up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame because it was the first defensive touchdown to win an NFL playoff game in history. And he hands it to a kid in the first row. And then the celebration is on. And I remember their defensive coordinator, Ed Donatel, who was the most mild-mannered, reserved guy. I just remember we would end our interviews with him, and he would always say to us, didn't matter who, if it was me or Domofsky or whoever, is that what you were looking for? Did that help you? Did you have any other questions? I don't get that anymore either. People offering more in case I didn't get what I needed. But most mild-mannered guy, and he sprints onto the field and jumps onto the dog pile with all the players that are celebrating. And so remember, that was during their run where it was this miraculous run. Favre's father dies, and they play that incredible game in Oakland. Then on the last day of the regular season, they need the Vikings to lose in Arizona for them to make the playoffs. Arizona was terrible.
Oh, wait, Jason, you're gonna remember. Kyle, do you remember I feel like they whoever that Cardinals wide receiver who was like a non-factor in the rest of his career. I feel like they made a big deal about it and named things after him in Green Bay, right? Didn't they? Wasn't that a huge deal? Whoever caught that touchdown for Arizona?
It was a huge deal. Kyle, you got him or not?
I always forget this guy's name. I always want to say David Boston, but it wasn't David Boston.
No, David Boston was way too accomplished. If I give you a hint, his last name starts with a P.
Oh, I can't think of it either, even with the P.
All right. So, and Kenny Mayne did a great main event after this happened because a week before that, the Packers also needed the Bears to beat somebody, and Peanut Tillman had a pick six to win a game or a fumble recovery to win a game for the Bears that kept the Packers' playoff hopes alive. And he brought Peanut Tillman after the Packers had made the playoffs to Lambeau Field because Nate Poole, who was the wide receiver for the Cardinals who caught the touchdown, had been celebrated, as Craig said. He was given the key to the city and all the stuff that the city of Green Bay did to celebrate him for helping the Packers make the playoffs. And Kenny Mayne brings Peanut Tillman to town, and he has him in front of the gates, and nobody's there because without his play, the Packers are also not in the playoffs. But that game in Arizona is going on. Paul Allen has a incredible call of heartbreak for Vikings fans, which obviously they've had a lot of that. But I remember that game distinctly because that was after the stadium had been renovated, but they still didn't have a ton of video boards in the concourse. So the Packers are beating the snot out of the Denver Broncos And yet all the Packers fans inside Lambeau Field are turning around, trying to look into the luxury boxes and the press box to try and watch the Arizona-Minnesota game because the Packers are blowing out the Broncos. And so, obviously, Nate Poole makes the touchdown catch.
But by the way, this is an 11-point game with 3.5 minutes left. So it feels like it's over, right? And the Cardinals aren't good. And so they need 2 scores in the last, 3-4 minutes. And then they get the touchdown by Nate Poole.
So now you've got Favre and that magical night. You've got the Bears and the Cardinals most prominently, helping keep the Packers' playoff hopes alive, and ultimately the Cardinals win, getting them into the playoffs. And then the following week after that, in the wild card round, the pick 6 by Al Harris. And they are starting to feel like a team of destiny. Even Brett Favre says something special's going on here. I don't normally believe in this sort of stuff, but something special's happening here, like as if Irv was reaching down from the heavens and touching this team. And then, of course, what happens the following week? Don't bring this up to Tausch. 4th and 26.
Wow.
So all that magic, poof, in Philadelphia with Freddie Mitchell with the completion on 4th and 26. And then they go on to lose the Packers. I'll never forget this. I had Northwest Airlines website up in the press box in Philly at Lincoln Financial Field, ready to purchase our 4 tickets to get us to Carolina because that's who they would have played next in the NFC Championship game. And instead the Packers lose. I think Philly lost the following week. And
that ends up being that Patriots. That ends up being
field goal in Houston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Pretty magical run. Yep. A lot of walk-off moments in that one.
I don't know. I mean, that changed history, right? I mean, who knows if Janet Jackson has the wardrobe malfunction in that Super Bowl if it hadn't been for the Packers losing on 4th and 26 and all that, right? Like history all could have been different. Wow, that is wild. All right, Jason, before we let you go, David Bakhtiari spoke this week on the Adam Schefter podcast and a few other places. What is your take? I know, he was very specific in saying the Jets seem well taken care of at offensive tackle. What are you thinking is going to happen with David Bakhtiari?
Well, it's funny because when Mark Tauscher and I talked to David most recently, which was, 6 weeks, 2 months ago, I don't want to say that he was down in the dumps because that would not be an accurate depiction of our conversation, but him talking about where he was at in his recovery, he did not paint a very optimistic picture of being able to play again. Talked a lot about this gigantic scar that he has on his leg, how he was just starting to jog at that moment. And I think we spent some time talking about how the contract and how the NFLPA has insurance that within these contracts that gets you paid a certain amount if you've been released and you're never able to play again and you have an injury that dates back to your time with your team. So there's that protection. So he could have, and still could if he doesn't play again, get some more money from the Packers if he ends up having to retire. But that was part of that was kind of the narrative. And I remember us hanging up with him and Tausch and I talking in the next segment about how, man, he just doesn't sound like he's going to play again. And so to hear him, and I watched the podcast that Adam did with him, it's a 180. Like he sounds, refreshed and excited, and he's talking about feeling like he could play multiple years, which is what he wants to do. Now, he did tell us when he was on with us that he did still want to play. He just didn't know if he could, but that it's important to him to get to Canton. And he's not sure what he'd like to think that his resume with 5 All-Pro selections is enough, but he'd like to add to that. And I loved what he said to Adam about who he wants to play with, which I'm sure David, who's a smart guy, knew that question was coming and the connections to Rodgers. And for him to say that he wants to play with whoever's going to be next year's Super Bowl MVP, I thought was really clever. Because remember, he was a draft pick in 2013. So all those guys from 11, 12, 13 on down, great Packers, right? Randall Cobb, David Bakhtiari, Corey Linsley, Davante Adams. All of those guys are ringless. And so for all of them, that is the hole in their resume. And David, arriving a few years after they won the title, that he always talked about that. And also remember, talking about heartbreaking losses in 4th and 26, all those guys that I just mentioned were part of the meltdown in Seattle when they blew a 16-0 lead, and they should have been playing in the Super Bowl. And so I think David is motivated by that. I think he's certainly motivated by the fact that, he has a really good but maybe not Hall of Fame resume. Maybe he does. But I thought it was great to hear him, and I really like David, and he's obviously been a great friend to our show, and I have a really good relationship with him. I thought it was great to hear him sound that way. But to your point, it didn't sound to me like he had his eggs in the Jets basket, right?
And you're assuming there's no fit here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think, first of all, I think fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. You shouldn't fool people, as George Bush said. They don't have any interest in old players that are healthy.
Yep.
Like, frankly, I'm still a little surprised, and it says something about Preston Smith that he's still on this team because they had drafted Lucas Van Ness. I think their plan had been that Lucas Van Ness would assume his role. And instead, he's here for another season. They reworked his deal again. They don't want 30-year-old players, and they certainly don't want a 34-year-old left tackle who's had all the issues David has had. They thanked him for his service, but no, I don't think there's a fit for him to return. They drafted Jordan Morgan. They like Rasheed Walker. It'll be interesting to see where David ends up, but I will say this. The Cowboys could use some help. And he always had a great relationship with McCarthy, although his issue was more with Matt LaFleur for having them practice the way they did on the day that he injured his knee. And I think they're fine now, but I do think there's still some resentment that lingers there with the way the practices were being done late in the year. But he has a great relationship with Mike McCarthy. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's where he ended up.
Wow, great stuff from Jason Wilde. And as Jason mentioned, you can check out the Adam Schefter podcast wherever you get your podcasts and see he and David Bakhtiari on that. Jason, thanks so much. Have a good one.
All right, Craig. Take care. Be good.
There he is, Jason Wilde. Those are some good ones in both directions, Kyle. The Al Harris walk-off win and the Packers walk-off postseason loss when Rodgers had the pick 6 against Arizona.
Yeah, that one always stinks. It was a face mask, and he also kicked the football up. That was just tough.
Yeah, it was. That's what I was saying. I don't know if it was a fumble, it was an interception. I don't know what that was, but
it was crazy.
It was an ugly. I was in Vegas for that. Yeah, I was in Vegas. That was.
We had a lot of heartbreak against the.
Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona, because then a couple years later we had the heartbreak. I was in Europe, actually, when that one happened.
When Larry Fitzgerald had the big play after the pretty much two Hail Marys.
Yeah, Jeff Janis.
Yep. Exactly.
There's a lot of memories of me turning TVs off for that one. I was watching it at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
You could be on one of those rich people websites, dating apps, you're in European vacations.
I could not have been. And I remember just watching it, and as soon as they scored the touchdown on the little shovel pass, closed the laptop, went to bed.
All right. In honor of the Colorado Rockies winning a game last night on a walk-off pitch clock violation, what is your most memorable, could be good or could be bad, walk-off ending to a game? We'll continue to take your calls and texts on that and a whole lot more as we roll on at Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
And he's got a bunch of little yellow things falling all over his table. He's more Tausch. Tausch, okay over there?
So, typically you see, those helicopters that spin off trees. I thought that's what these were, but these look like if Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was having cornflakes.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris are joined by Basketball Hall of Famer, UCLA legend, and Olympian Ann Myers. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Eagle Sports Range has an unbeatable offer on concealed carry license classes. For just $49, enroll in their 3-hour class led by expert instructors prioritizing safety. Learn laws, techniques, and mindset for responsible carrying. Stick around for an optional hour of range time with instructors included in the package. Practice under professional guidance and gain confidence. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day at 2525 East Layton Avenue in Cudahy. Secure your spot at eaglesportsrange.com. Eagle Sports Range, where safety meets skill.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Sam Steiner. How much do you enjoy being able to help someone through really the entire process of coming back from an injury?
I mean, I think it's something very special. It's something I look forward to every day, being able to wake up, see people from the time they're injured, and then take them all the way through the process of explaining what they've had done, taking care of them, in some cases operating on them, and then afterwards being able to see the recovery and see them get back to where they want to be.
It seems to me that there is a strong connection between patient and doctor here. Why is that?
Many of us grew up in the area. We went to high schools that we now take care of. I think it's really unique and special that we can take care of people we went to school with, their families, friends of our parents at our facility. It holds you accountable. They can literally say, hey, if you don't do a good job, I'm going to tell your mom. We really have something very special and unique here at OAW.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Liss is more.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Using gas to heat our homes can be dangerous, but we have the technology to transition to clean electric alternatives. My name is Matt Vespa. I'm a senior attorney at Earth Justice, and I'm going to court to fight for clean energy. Until safe, affordable clean energy is an option in every home, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org.
Continues to run, PA. 17, 16, 15.
See, they have to go deep into the end zone.
We better put some people in the end zone, right, Joe?
That's exactly right.
I mean, there's nobody inside the 10.
Get back, guys.
Here it is. The season's on the line. 2 receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No! No! The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs!
Wow. So that was the Nathan Poole touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals in 2003 that helped vault the Green Bay Packers into the postseason.
I ran around the house like a crazy kid because the NFL obviously it was probably Fox at the time, kind of shifted to the game, and they showed that in play. As Jason said, people in the stadium were watching, that game, and we at home were getting switched over to that one, and it was just an absolute miracle. As a Packers fan, you just think, this is what is life. This is life for us. Like, everything always seems to go right. And then we find out once it gets to real time to win a Super Bowl, it doesn't go right.
You always have... I can't figure out if you're an optimistic fan or a pessimistic fan.
I'm optimistic, but I understand that heartbreak is always part of the storyline more often than not for the Green Bay Packers. Even this, we had so much excitement. Brett Favre's father passes away, which is so sad. Brett Favre plays an incredible game. Javon Walker making incredible catches. You go and you see this, you have this game and this catch which gets you into the playoffs, and then you win against Seattle the way you won, and then 4th and 26, and that's how it all ends. It's just tough.
By the way, just watched the walk-off pitch clock violation, and it was close, but it was clearly like, how in the NFL it's like, it's not when it hits 0, it's like a chance to look at it at 0, and that's when they call the...
Is that what they have in baseball now? They look at the clock and then they look down and then they call it?
I'm saying, like, that's pretty much what it was. But it wasn't, like, an extra, 2 seconds. Or it wasn't, blatant, but it was clearly the right call. And it's pretty funny because you see a guy running around who was the guy complaining when they lost to the Dodgers last week on check swing, and then Dodgers hit a walk-off home run. So it was a guy from the Rockies who was all angry last week. That's a week later they win a game on a walk-off. And that's why we're asking you, in sports, what is your most memorable, stunning, whether it's winning or losing, walk-offs? And we also have the 7-Eleven, which is supposed to be coming up in a moment. I was trying to do a hockey 7-Eleven.
Please don't.
In honor of Game 7, but I could not figure out one that that people could actually guess 7 things.
We did do the last, who were the last 7? I don't know what the last.
To win the cup?
Yeah, to win the cup. I think we had to get 7.5 or 8.5.
Yeah, I was looking at the most goals in a postseason career. But, I don't think you're messing with any Yari Currys, right? You're not.
I wouldn't have remembered the name, no. I would have said Jaromir Jagr, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. I would have said Sidney Crosby. I probably would have said Evgeny Malkin just to say his name.
You would have said Evgeny Malkin?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So, all right. So, if we had gone with most points in a single playoff year.
Oh, single?
In a year.
Got it.
Number 1. All right, just drop some names.
Okay,
go. Yeah.
So I said Malkin, you went all crazy.
Yeah.
And then I would have said Sidney Crosby. And then I would have said Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, maybe Connor McDavid this year because he went crazy.
So Gretzky is number 1 of all time. Lemieux is number 2. Connor McDavid this year is number 3.
Going crazy.
Paul Coffey is number 4.
I wouldn't have said that name.
Evgeny Malkin is number 5. Mike Bossy 6, and Doug Gilmour 7.
Yeah, Bossy, Gilmour, and Coffey. I wouldn't have said.
But that's still pretty impressive that you were
they're the biggest names in hockey.
Gretzky, by the way, is number 1, 3, 5, 6, and 10 on the list.
How good was he? Because I caught him at the back end.
Oh, as an expert in hockey, I could tell you he was an excellent player.
You saw him.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
No, he was amazing. He was Jordan, right? That was.
I was a Mario Lemieux fan, so it's kind of tough, right? Because I chose that side. It's like Duke, North Carolina. You had to choose a side.
But he was more dominant. If you look at the record books, right? He was more dominant than Michael Jordan. If you look at who the second best player was.
Multiple teams too, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yes, but Edmonton and then the Kings and then the Rangers, right? I think that was the only teams I could think of that he played for. But yeah, he was, when he went to the Kings, I feel like people were like, he was on the back end and then he ended up having another half of his career. Oh, I didn't realize he had 18 games with the St. Louis Blues that I missed in.
At the end of his career?
In between the Kings and the Rangers. I guess he got traded by the Kings late in the 95-96 season. And then he went to the Rangers, where he still put up another 50.
Where's Ovechkin at on that list?
57 goals in 3 years. See, I mean, he had one big run, but your guy Sidney Crosby was number 31.
Oh my goodness!
Connor McDavid was 22 also.
Is Patrick Kane on there? Well, Connor McDavid was 22, and he's only been in the league, 5 years?
I'm saying he's number 4 and 22. I'm saying he's had 2 years like that where he's...
But this is like season 4 or 5 for him?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a legend. He's a legend.
Well, so if we look at most points in playoff career, you're talking about Ovechkin's number 39 and Kane is number 42 in their careers. Joe Pavelski, Badger, number 37 all time. Chris Chelios, number 35.
Hey, Chris Chelios. I remember that name from the Red Wings, right?
Yeah. See, this may have been the list to try, but if you went in the whole career, you got Gretzky 1, Messier 2, Curry 3, Glenn Anderson 4, Yager 5, Crosby 6, Paul Coffey 7, Brett Hull 8. Like, those are pretty big names. But I didn't think you were getting any Yari Currys or Glenn Andersons. But I guess others could have. You were
right with that. I definitely would not have. You have to go pure team. You got to keep it easy when it comes to that.
All right. So does that mean it's 7-11 time and we are not going hockey?
Yeah, we. I would say we shouldn't go the hockey route.
All right. It is.
Unless you want to see if I remember the last 7 of the last 10 NHL champions.
Unless after I just named, or I could just ask you the exact question I just did and see if you remember them from the last segment. 7-11 next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Come escape to Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy stunning lakeside views, on-site golf, award-winning spa, and numerous dining options, including 1878 on the lake. Dive into the pools, explore water sports, or relax by the lakeside fire pits. Experience Lake Lawn Resort's newly renovated guest rooms, part of a multi-million-dollar upgrade for ultimate comfort and luxury. Whether it's a romantic getaway, family vacation, or corporate retreat, Lake Lawn Resort has it all. Book your stay at Lake Lawn Resort today and discover the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation.
For the ultimate sports betting experience, get in the game at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Unleash your inner champion with dozens of betting kiosks, a VIP deck, high-end bar, first-class restaurant, broadcast booth, a 2,000-square-foot video wall, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise, 24/7. Bet above the rest. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Visit the website for more. Must be 21 years old. All bets must be made on site.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Aside from a house or a car specifically, what is the most expensive thing you own? Wendy?
A car.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator. Name something that's better than being rich.
Poor. Besides a bird, something in a bird cage.
Hamster.
Something that comes with a summer storm.
Snow.
Something Russia's famous for, Bob.
Russians.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Rob.
Naked grandma.
Reason you might stay indoors on a beautiful day.
Because it's raining?
Name something you might buy that could turn out to be phony.
Yeah, a horse.
Name a time that most people get up.
In the morning.
a time most people go to bed at night.
This is the 7 at 11 on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
All right, we may have another segment of us not doing a 7-Eleven and talking about a 7-Eleven. Because you know what's happening today at 3 o'clock, right?
3 o'clock today. Is that the Fever versus the Chicago Sky? Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese?
Yes, it is.
It's in front of me, so that helps.
Oh, nice. Both off to great starts in their WNBA careers.
No holds barred? My goodness. What is this, a wrestling match?
I mean, last time Angel Flagrant won, Caitlin.
She did bust her upside her head.
And as we get ready for this game, I think, Angel's probably playing her best basketball of her WNBA career, and the Fever have been winning more games than they've been winning. As they, early in the year, they set the schedule to where Indiana was playing way too many games, and I feel like they were worn down, but they're actually back up in the playoff mix. And so right now, there's only 12 teams in the league, right? So they're going to expand up to 16. They only have 12 teams. Right now, these are the 8th and 9th teams. So they're fighting for the last playoff spot in the WNBA. Now, Caitlin is averaging more points. Angel's averaging more rebounds. And they pretty much kept the rivalry going. So that game's going on today at 3 o'clock on ESPN. But what I had for you prepared was the list of the 7 leading active scorers in the WNBA.
All right, I can try.
So the only thing is there's 1, maybe 2, but I don't know. Obviously, they've been around. They've been doing their thing. I don't know if we open this up or if we just see how you do.
Well, Arike Gumboale.
No.
What? She's not on the list?
She's number 15.
Oh, well, then, I mean.
She's only played 171 games.
Oh,
She's
I
still
thought you were
young.
talking about this season.
No.
Oh, you talking about all time? Oh, all time?
No,
Oh.
active. Like active leading scorers.
Yeah, Diana Taurasi.
Number 1 on the list. There you go.
I feel like Kelsey Plum's been in the league long enough to be on that list.
Kelsey Plum has been in the league long enough to be number 22 on the list.
Oh, well, then
with 211 games played.
Well, I can't tell you because I feel like her and Brittany Griner are on the same time. And
Brittany Griner's number 5 on the list.
Oh, is she really?
There you go. 291 games played.
I don't feel Sue Bird's not in the league anymore, is she?
No.
She retired. And Candace Parker retired, so she wouldn't be on this list either. You know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there because she's been balling nonstop. Oh, is Ella Deladon? Did she retire too? Elena Deladon? Did she retire? If she's not on the list,
she's not on a roster right now. Because I don't know if she officially retired. I'm not sure.
I feel like Brianna Stewart, she's been around a long time.
Brianna Stewart hasn't been around that long. She's played 240 games, but she's number 7 on the list.
She's been putting up buckets.
She is number 7 on the list, yeah.
The problem is I don't know the old heads of the WNBA. Like Fowles retired.
Sylvia Fowles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the old heads of the WNBA, Craig. I'm trying to go through the teams in my head.
All right, so we got number 1, Diana Taurasi.
Who plays for the Connecticut Sun?
Oh, there is one on the list. I don't know her well. She went to Auburn. She's in her 14th year.
Oh, yeah. No idea. No idea.
DeWanna Bonner.
No, I would never got it, but
Yeah.
I've heard the name. Yeah, this is too hard, Craig.
Yeah, she averaged double digits for every year of her career, 14 years.
Good for her. I mean,
Diana Taurasi won. All right, number 2, went to UConn.
Went to UConn as well?
First pick of the draft in 2010. She's on Atlanta.
Who plays for Atlanta Dream that went to UConn?
Tina Charles.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that.
Yeah. So Taurasi, Tina Charles, DeWanna Bonner. Number 4 is on Seattle. Went to Stanford, was the number 1 pick in 2012.
Number 1 pick in 2012 out of Stanford.
Nika Ogumwuke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, you got Brittany Griner, number 5. Number 6, also with the Storm. Seattle, number 1 pick overall in the draft out of Notre Dame. Little guard.
Oh, she's
on my fantasy team.
She scored that much?
She's on my fantasy team.
What's my girl name?
She averaged 25 a game last year.
Stop it! No, she didn't. She out there balling like that. What's the little black girl? Little.
Yep. This year she's only averaging 18.5 for my fantasy team. That's what I'm about to lose this week.
Why can't I remember her name?
Jewel Lloyd.
Oh no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Who's the girl I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Who went to Notre Dame? The star.
Arike Ogunbowale?
Not Arike. No, the other one.
I don't know.
Come on now, Craig. You don't know who I'm talking about?
No, Jewel Lloyd.
The star. No, if you type in Notre Dame, women's basketball star. What is her name? Craig, it's gonna bother me.
How? All right, Notre Dame.
Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins. She was a star.
So
I'm gonna say I didn't know she was balling like that, but
Skylar Diggins Smith, Notre Dame, picked 3 in the draft in 2013. She is number 9 on the list.
Oh, yeah, she's getting old.
That's a good job out of you. All right, well, there it is. You're 7-11, and a reminder for everyone, watch today on ESPN. It'll be fun. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese.
Do you think Caitlin Clark has elevated the game? Do you think all this hate towards us is right? You haven't addressed that yet.
No, I haven't.
There's a lot of disrespect towards Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up next. It is Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
I'm comfortable in saying this. This was the biggest waste of a season in Wisconsin sports history. This is worse than Ray Rhodes.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But without Giannis, I have a hard time saying that.
Well, then give me a comparable. What was worse? Give me a worse season.
Chewy, that's easy. That's so easy.
What?
2011 Packers.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Over the past 20 years, Wisconsin has seen a huge increase in reported elder abuse cases. Elder abuse is the verbal, physical, emotional, sexual, or financial abuse of a senior citizen. It can also be the intentional or unintentional neglect of an older person. Wisconsin's population of seniors 65 and older is projected to grow significantly in the coming decades. That's why we all share the responsibility to help protect our seniors by recognizing and reporting any signs of elder abuse. If you believe that elder abuse has been inflicted upon yourself or someone you know, please report it. Call the Wisconsin Elder Abuse Hotline toll-free at 1-833-586-0107 or visit reportelderabuswi.org. Respect our elders. Report abuse. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Justice.
This project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $120,000 with 100% funding by ACL HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of nor an endorsement by ACL HHS or the U.S. government.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Are you not able to enjoy this summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the best time for being outdoors, but not if your knees, your shoulders, back, or hips are hurting. Hey, this is Brad Nortman. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your body's own ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, so you can run, walk, hike, play golf, and move again, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento Deli-style sliced cheese, 2 for $6. 24-pack Essential Everyday Purified Water, 2 for $6. 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Green Mountain K-Cups or bag coffee, $5.99. 24 to 30.2 ounce selected varieties Edwards Cream Pies, $5.99.
Why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
What's this?
What is it? Giorgio Moroder? I don't know. It's a song I heard while I was shopping at the store, and I was like, ooh. Okay, Google, what artist is this, or what song is this?
Okay. Kyle's pulling music from the store. So, you mentioned, your exact question on Caitlin Clark was, has Caitlin Clark raised the game, and what do I think of the beef she's getting, or all that? I mean, it's really difficult to understand why Caitlin Clark has elevated the women's game so much.
You said it's difficult?
It's difficult to understand it because there are players that have come before her who had similar careers and similar impacts. So then you think, okay, is part of what raised the game her rivalry with Angel Reese and the fact, and should Angel Reese be getting a little more credit maybe than she's getting on this because LSU beat Iowa last year, and then this year, Iowa got him back, and South Carolina ends up winning the national championship. And I think the thing that's overrated on all of this is that I don't think the players are doing anything that different. I think it's just that people are watching the game who never watched the game before and want women's basketball to be, for some reason, different than other competitive sports. Because in any other competitive sport, like you'd be saying, oh yeah, these are the best players in the world. And just because some rookie's coming in and just because some rookie's adding to the brand and all that, you're not expecting them to kowtow and praise the rookie and be nicer to the rookie and not treat them the way they treat any other competitor, and if anything, be tougher on them because they're coming into the league with all sorts of hype. Do I think there'd be private planes in the WNBA if it weren't for Caitlin Clark? No.
No, you missing some words in front of that, no.
But I don't think the players should be treating her any different on the court as a result of that. But I still don't understand why that is the case. I know it's easy to think oh, she's white and she's in a predominantly, a black league. But Sabrina Ionescu came in 4 years ago.
Baller.
Similar, right? White guard, great shooter, all that. So to me, I think it's too simple to try to put it as one thing. I think the game has continued to elevate, and it's a better sport than it was before. I went to the women's Final Four in 2006 and 2007, and I was all excited. And these were the legends of the game now, when you look back, who were in that Final Four. And I got to meet and interview a bunch of them, and I was so excited to watch that Final Four. And then I actually watched the game, and I was like, this game's kind of not that good, right? It just wasn't. It was a very uneven style of basketball. Whereas now, I think because of those players and because of those stars from a generation ago, it's just been a matter of people sampling the product. And it started with the women's Final Four last year in 2023, and people liked what they saw. And then when they came back in 2024, it was even better, right? And we were talking about it on this show in a way we had never talked about it before. And it wasn't just those two teams, right? We were talking about USC. We were talking about South Carolina. We were talking about LSU and Iowa.
And South Carolina might have been the most untalked about team for them to have an undefeated season. Everybody else, all the other stars were elevated in that Final Four.
Well, like you said, because they had the stars. But now when you see Caitlin Clark getting flagrant fouls, either, I guess both against Chicago.
And bust ups upside her head, Craig.
But the bust upside her head, that was just Angel Reese going for a block and hits her in the head. I mean, that's overrated. And Angel Reese is funny because she has a little of that Draymond. She has a little of that where she's she can't just say yeah, I hit her in the head. I know it's a flagrant one. She's just she's a competitor. And I think that's why this is good. But I don't think Caitlin Clark, and I think she's not responsible for what people are doing on social media in her name. But I think also the way the country is now, right? Everything's got to become Democrats and Republicans. Everything's got to become a social issue and all that, where we could just look at this and be like, wow, this is a time where normally we'd have nothing going on in sports. And now this league that's been here for 25 years may actually be consistent enough to have our attention and keep our attention. But I don't want the players who've been there doing their thing for 10 or 15 years to be like, oh, thank you, Caitlin. We were missing without you. They're like, we've been balling for the last 15 years and growing this league, right? I don't want them to feel like they have to be kissing Caitlin's butt. They should be playing hard against her and all that. And I think they're respectful of her game. They appreciate her game. And she shows that she belongs in the league. She's backed up the idea that she should have been the number one pick. Angel Reese is competing, and Angel Reese over the last 2 weeks is showing that maybe she could be Rookie of the Year, and it's actually making the WNBA as interesting, if not more interesting, than college basketball was. So I think for whatever reason, I think we thought that this was a college basketball phenomenon or a Caitlin Clark phenomenon, but I think this is allowing people to sample things enough to where this is going to be a WNBA absolutely transcendent moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, but I do want to say a lot of this is attributed to Caitlin Clark and her greatness, and it's in her greatness in the sense of being able to draw people. We were at Summerfest, we just talked about it, and one of the kids, I took a shot and I was shooting the shot, and he said when I was shooting the shot, I said, oh, I'm like Kobe MJ. He said, you like Steph, right? And why is Steph so intriguing? Not LeBron, right? Not Kevin Durant, who are, to me, the most two talented players of the last 15 years. It was Steph Curry. Why was it Steph Curry? Because Steph Curry is much must-see TV because of the way that he scores the basketball. When you're able to shoot the basketball from anywhere on the court, that is more entertaining than a lot of these dunks because people are absolutely in awe in the range and the confidence that you have to shoot the ball. And that's exactly what Caitlin Clark did. And so,
but I also think I think Steph also, we can't underestimate the fact that Steph was relatable, and Steph wasn't 6'8", it was almost like any of us could have been Steph, right?
Yeah, we tried hard.
And I think he cut through black, white, Steph,
shooter.
We just all looked at Steph and that. And I think Caitlin Clark, there's something to that with her also, where she was shooting from so far out, and she was throwing the passes, and she was doing everything, but it wasn't she's dunking or doing something, because most of the WNBA players that have been dominant had been bigs, which wasn't as interesting. I think that made it interesting. Now, again, I can't say why she resonated in a way that Sabrina Ionescu didn't. I don't know if
Sabrina wasn't pulling up like she was, and then on top of that, Iowa that also played a role. I don't know if Sabrina's team when she was out west,
Oregon.
Right? Did they make the Final Four? They may have made the Final Four, but it just seems like you have Iowa, Big Ten country. There's just a lot of things that elevated that. And I mean, she was cold, Craig. She was shooting from everywhere, pulling up from everywhere, and I think that right there just elevated the game in a sense of people wanted to see it. And then you had somebody else with Angel Reese who also had the personality, the Bayou Barbie, that was also able to kind of have that, the clash of two great personalities that people were attracted to and attached to. So I think they both deserve a lot of credit for raising the game. And I think all the hate that Caitlin Clark gets is unwarranted because you can say, would they be flying private if it was, or flying, it's private. If it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, no, they wouldn't be flying private if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark. And no, they shouldn't be saying thank you, but I mean, they should welcome her to the game. But there's some of the inside hate that they have towards her and the outside hate that she gets simply because she out here hooping and balling. She deserves a lot of credit. LeBron James came into the league and he was crowned the king right away when he came into the league, and Caitlin Clark is getting the same treatment.
So you ever go to a club or a restaurant or somewhere and you're like, oh, this is my spot and I love it and all that?
Yeah.
Right? And then it ever get more popular?
Yeah.
And then you're like,
I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Too many people know about it.
Like, I think there's a little of that going on with the WNBA, a little bit, where it's like for all the positives, like it's like people aren't mad at Caitlin, but they're mad at like some of the fans who are coming and like, because all of a sudden in their social media mentions, they're getting a bunch of like stuff that they never had to deal with before, right? So I think there's that balance, right, where they appreciate
more money, more problems, Craig.
Where the players
more money, more problems,
and the players haven't got the more money
it's
yet.
Coming though,
but I think it will come, and I think Caitlin's gonna have a huge impact. It's a lot of like the Tiger Woods resentment, right? When he got into the PGA Tour, you saw some of that, and players were definitely like not happy with it, but when they got really happy,
them checks started
when
being bigger.
When the PGA signed their new deal with CBS at the time, and then all those purses were going up, and then players were making a lot more money. So that's when all of a sudden that kid at the time who they felt like was getting a little extra attention because the color of his skin, which is the way I'm sure.
Oh, wow, they thought it was the color of skin, not his game.
No, they said he's got game, but the color of his skin is a factor.
As it should be.
Same way in the WNBA, I think a lot of these women are thinking, oh, this kid's coming in, and
little white girl
she's getting a little extra attention because of the color of her skin. I think the most similar comparison to all of this that you could actually find is in the Tiger Woods story than any of the other stories people are bringing up.
That's powerful.
Because that's what I think with Caitlin Clark, what we're seeing here.
Caitlin Clark is Tiger Woods. I got the title.
Yep. Now, can she be as transcendent of an actual player as Tiger? I mean, that would be wild, right? The second best player seen of all time. From what we've seen of Caitlin, she's already really competitive this early. So maybe I don't know enough to say she can't be based on what we've seen. I can tell you got to be excited. Check her out today, 3:00. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. It is Indiana Fever, Chicago Sky coming up on ESPN. All right, we'll segue back out of the WNBA and back into some of the excitement of last night. I can't believe you tried to say I'm grumpy old.
That was the report. That's all I got. I just report what I see.
Who even would have reported that to you?
I just get the news and I just report it. That's all.
There's a lot of fake news out there. I know why people.
It's election year.
I know why people don't trust the media now. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN. Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices. It's a slogan. It's a way of life. it is synonymous not only with the Gruber Law Offices, but it's synonymous with Wisconsin. It's one of those things that people can look at each other and say, one call, that's all, and you know exactly who and what you're talking about. And the reason is because it's been effective. That's how something like this grows. It's not from a marketing standpoint. It's because 30 plus years of helping tens of thousands of Wisconsinites who are injured. It's why when you're at Summerfest, you see the Gruber Law Offices t-shirts everywhere you go. It's why throughout the summer, whether it's Brewers baseball, whether it's a community event, it is synonymous with the summer in Wisconsin. It's because it is a family-owned business that is nationally recognized for taking care of those when they need it the most. So if you or a loved one's ever injured, remember, with Gruber Law Offices, it's one call, that's all.
Hey, graduating high school seniors, you already know IKEA is your home for everything you need to make your upcoming college living experience great. Now, IKEA wants to help you celebrate your graduation with the 2024 IKEA Grad Bash. Join IKEA on June 22nd from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for fun activities, contests, giveaways, gifts, and more. Search the store with the Grad Bash scavenger hunt, grab a free hot dog, and uncover fun around every corner. Stop by IKEA Oak Creek on June 22nd for IKEA's Grad Bash.
Check, 1, 2.
These sounds can only mean one thing. It's Summerfest!
Milwaukee, are you ready?
600 artists, 12 stages, one epic lakefront. Don't miss 3 unforgettable weekends of music, June 20th through July 6th. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets, lineup, and more at summerfest.com.
Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Who's ready to save a bucket load at Fleet Farm? Just buy one of our signature 5-gallon buckets for $3.99 and get 15% off anything that fits inside it. Save on Daiwa, Daredevil, and Trilane, DeWalt, and Milwaukee hand tools. Save on snacks, grilling gear, and more. Any qualifying products that fit in the bucket are 15% off now through June 26th. Our bucket sale is just another great way to save on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. Can't live without me, you wanna, but you...
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So I was busy this week and didn't get to keep up with things much. Did Jordan Love sign a contract?
He did not.
No?
He did not.
Oh, I thought maybe I just missed it with like Summerfest and all the busy stuff going on.
While you're over here smiling and cheesing, I put it on the show sheet, not the show sheet, the text message I've sent to you a couple times. Do you owe Jordan Love an apology?
Me?
And Goody an apology? I'm simply because when we had a conversation, and you heard it for a year on our show open.
I'm the biggest Jordan Love guy you've ever met.
Saying, we were thinking like $40 million, for a contract for him like he was Daniel Jones, and he surpassed that. And that was on the show before a while where you compared my franchise quarterback, because he is mine now, to Daniel Jones. It's a little disrespectful, and I don't think you ever made amends to that.
No. I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that.
You were comparing him to Justin Fields, too.
No.
I remember.
I was accurate, and what I was explaining was that people were thinking last offseason that Daniel Jones got paid, all that money. So then right away, Jordan Love would get that money from the Green Bay Packers. And what I was saying was that because Daniel Jones got that money and wasn't of that level, it would be a startling reminder to franchises not to commit money before you know that you have your guy. And I was advising that people shouldn't expect that the Packers are just going to pay him when they weren't sure they had their guy because of what had happened with Daniel Jones. And that is exactly what we saw, is that the Packers did not pay Jordan Love. So, no, that's exactly what I was talking about at the time. And you can continue to take things out of context to try to play me out like you did at Summerfest, but that's exactly what happened.
I just listened, and I said, this is what I'm told. This is what the audio says. This is what the source told me, and they just told me I should address it.
You wrote grumpy old man.
That's what.
Did the source say I was a grumpy old man?
From the story?
No. Did they say I was a grumpy old man?
The source did not say you were a grumpy old man. But the story.
I was blocking shots. I was jumping around. I was having fun.
The story made it seem like you were
women were missing shots, and I was like, "You're not Angel Reese. You're Devil Reese."
Oh wow!
I was clowning people. I was trolling. I was having a good time at Summerfest on Thursday night.
Okay, well, I mean, again, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you know that the message.
I'm just not letting the media. I'm just not letting the mainstream media continue to drag my name through the mud.
The way it was brought to me, to my attention, like, oh, guess what happened yesterday? You got to talk about this maybe on your show. That's what I was told. I was like, wait, what happened?
But you brought it to the grumpy old man spot. But I'm cool with that. So on Jordan Love, I still stand by the fact that by trading up for Jordan Love, the Packers cost themselves the opportunity to win potentially 2 Super Bowls, at least get to 2 Super Bowls.
I don't think it is anymore.
What?
I used to think that. I don't think it anymore because who's to say the Packers are going to draft a wide receiver? Who's to say Packers were actually going to put the people around
him? It didn't need to be a wide receiver. If it was anyone that was going to contribute then. We saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that draft an offensive tackle and a cornerback.
Yeah, like 13.
And those 2 guys helped lead them to the Super Bowl.
We had Lucas Van Ness, who really didn't contribute at all to our roster last year. We had Rashawn Gary, who his first season was basically a redshirt season where he was figuring things out as well. The Green Bay Packers the plug and play for even this year with Jordan Morgan, I don't know how much Jordan Morgan's going to contribute on this team because I feel like he's going to be fighting for a starting job at right guard or left tackle with the Green Bay Packers. Nothing's going to be handed to him. The Green Bay Packers aren't drafting plug and play guys. The Packers are thinking about guys to contribute towards the future, and they ain't going to be a wide receiver. So how much I want to feel like we could have drafted a wide receiver like a Justin Jefferson, even though he got drafted right before. But we could have drafted somebody that like a T. Higgins that could have helped us. It sounds good, but history would tell me that isn't what was going to happen.
Well, maybe it isn't what was going to happen, but if they did it, they would have had a chance to win. And you can't tell me that Luke Musgrave, Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft didn't all have an impact on this team this year.
They all had a great impact on this team, but I will say this right now. As somebody who loves Aaron, they would not have had the same impact had Aaron Rodgers been a quarterback this year. A Tucker Kraft, of Jaden Reed, a Luke Musgrave would not have had the same impact because we still would have had some old guys on our team that Aaron Rodgers wanted to make sure he earned the trust in. Aaron Rodgers got to the point in his career, which I think is justified, is that he didn't have time to have people with training wheels on. He didn't have time for guys running wrong routes. Imagine through the first 8 weeks if those guys were in the same space, 3 receivers in the same area, what Aaron Rodgers would have did on the sideline, what he would have said to those kids. The development that they had was purely based off the fact that they got room to grow without being attacked by their starting quarterback.
Okay,
that is why they grew so much.
All right, Christian Watson, 41 catches, 611 yards, 7 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers. With Jordan Love, 28 catches, 422 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Christian Watson's been very, very hurt.
He was hurt.
Very, very hurt this year.
Yeah, he was hurt. But I'm just saying, it's not like you're tackling Aaron Rodgers as freezing out rookies. He had 41 catches, 611 yards, and all those touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, late in the season.
7 touchdowns. He threw a bomb to him on the first play of the year that Christian Watson dropped.
Yeah, and then he didn't want to go back to him. He didn't want to go back to him.
He didn't want to go back to him.
He didn't want to go back to him.
Do you want me to go through the targets, or do you want to just tell your narrative of Aaron's gone, so you're going to make it seem like Aaron didn't do anything good ever now?
I want to see Christian Watson's targets week 1 after that happened, week 2, week 3, and week 4.
Do you really want to?
I want to know. I'm curious. I'm curious because you're trying to defend Aaron Rodgers as if Aaron Rodgers.
No, I'm not trying to defend Aaron Rodgers.
You have a wide receiver in Romeo Doubs who said, "Yeah, we did decent for a quarterback who didn't even talk to me. He didn't talk to a guy that turned out to be." To me, Romeo Doubs is going to be a very solid NFL receiver, reliable NFL receiver, and in big moments, he can step up for you. When you need a big play, he'll make that big play. He may not be ripping off 150-yard games every single week. He may not be a 1,300-yard wide receiver, a 12-touchdown receiver, but he's going to give you 600 yards per year. He's going to give you 50 catches per year, and he's going to give you 5 to 7 touchdowns per year. That's what he's going to give you.
Christian Watson was number 7 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. For Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Tell me, I wonder what week 3, week 4, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 1 was. After he dropped that pass, I want to know how many more shots that Christian Watson got very early on in the season.
He had 4 targets in week 1, 3 targets in week 2, 3 targets in week 3.
You didn't get hurt or something like that, and he didn't play in week 4?
No. He got hurt in week 4. Yeah, and only had 1 target before he went out in week 4, and then he was hurt.
I'm just saying. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't looking back to him. I don't know how we got on this whole, you're talking about the growth. The Green Bay Packers, I am in the firm belief that it's not like the Green Bay Packers weren't there. We weren't right there on the goal line ready to get in. Aaron Rodgers didn't play well enough in playoff games at the end of his career with the Green Bay Packers, and that is the reason why we didn't go to a Super Bowl. That has nothing to do with the defense at that point. It doesn't have anything to do with Goody at that point as well. When you have an opportunity where your defense plays spectacular against the 49ers, but offensively you can't get anything done, that's on you, Aaron Rodgers. That's on you. And so that's what it just comes down to, is at the end of Aaron Rodgers' tenure here in Green Bay, he was unable to make the plays in order for us to get to a Super Bowl.
Romeo Doubs, 42 catches in his 13 games for 425 yards his rookie year. His second year, played 17 games, had 59 catches for 674 yards.
A lot of big ones too.
But he had a very similar year.
He had almost 20 more catches. What was it? He had almost 20 more catches.
He had 17 more catches in 4 more games.
And in 4 more games. That's about on average.
But you're saying like these guys made some big leap because Aaron was not talking to them and Jordan was. Like
I believe
Christian Watson.
Christian
Watson did not have a jump, and Romeo Doubs did not jump.
Christian Watson was
those other guys did, right? Jaden Reed was a rookie.
Romeo Doubs didn't have a jump, Craig. Romeo Doubs was the safety blanket for this team. He was the reliable guy for this team.
He was in 2022 also as a rookie.
He was a safety blanket? No, he wasn't.
So who was?
Probably Allen Lazard.
Right, but I'm saying he had 42 catches.
So what makes you think that us drafting offensive lineman, or let's be honest, us drafting a defensive player was going to help Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl his last 2 seasons?
If the team was better, they would have been more likely to win.
So how did the defense fail us? How did the defense fail us against the 49ers in Aaron's last game as a Packer? How?
The special teams failed us.
No, but how did the defense fail us?
I'm not saying us. Right? How did the defense? They gave up the drive. They gave up the drive to lose the game.
The offense failed.
They gave up the drive to lose the game.
They scored 1 touchdown in that game, Craig. That's pathetic.
A better team would have won the game, and I'm fine with it. It has worked out great.
The Packers did better. The Packers did better in his last playoff game, not his last game. But the Packers did better 2 seasons later against the San Francisco 49ers, who are a better football team without Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think they did better.
Yes, they did 100%.
They both lost games they should have won. I mean, if you take out a block punt, the Packers would have beat the 49ers in that game at home. And the 49ers were terrible. And at the time, Brock Purdy was terrible. And they should never have lost that game at home. It's a terrible job by in that game. I go back to LaFleur's game planning and Aaron missing Aaron Jones. Aaron missed a bunch of passes.
Aaron Rodgers was at the moments that we needed Aaron Rodgers to be at his best in the playoffs when it mattered.
It's just not true. If you watch the game, he made so many big plays in so many moments.
Craig, we scored 1 touchdown in that game. Come on now. Come on now, Craig. He missed guys like you just said. Come on, Craig. Then even in the game,
he didn't play great, but there were other reasons why they lost.
The game against the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
we had a lot of opportunities. Jair Alexander gave us our offense a lot of that defense gave our offense a lot of opportunities that game. We did not capitalize on that.
Aaron Rodgers played better than Tom Brady in that game.
Yeah, and then look at the end result. Tom Brady's team pulled it out.
Right, because he had a better team.
But Aaron Rodgers
had a better team.
Aaron Rodgers
played better than Tom Brady, and Tom Brady went to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers didn't have the luxury. He couldn't throw all those interceptions the way Tom Brady and still win.
That's very true.
All right, we will have our Palermo's picks coming up next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento deli-style sliced cheese, 2 for $6. 24-pack essential everyday purified water, 2 for $6. 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Green Mountain K-Cups or bag coffee, $5.99. 24 to 30.2 ounce selected varieties Edwards cream pies, $5.99.
Why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold a finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
The hottest deals of the season are going on now, exclusively at the Kunis Auto Group's Drive into Summer Sales Event. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs. From both Buick and GMC, all marked down to our lowest prices of the season. We're offering drive into summer savings and discounts on our entire inventory of select pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 2,500 vehicles on lot and online. While online, check out dozens of drive into summer service specials on everything from brakes, tires, to oil changes. Plus, in June, with any new truck or SUV test drive, you'll automatically be entered to win a brand new Jayco travel trailer from Kunis RV.
Perfect sunny day.
All at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships in Greenfield and Oak Creek. It's the Kunis Auto Group's exclusive June Drive into Summer Sales Event. You'll love it too when you make the summer road trip
Perfect sunny day.
to shopkunis.com.
It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I think you're wrong on that, Kyle. We'll talk about that on the air as well. But right now, it is our Palermo's Picks, brought to us by Palermo's Pizza. Palermo's Pizza has these things called pizza bowls now that are awesome. I got them the other day. I love it because it's so easy in the microwave. You just heat them up in the microwave, 3.5 minutes, and you're good. It's if you're low carb or keto, it's a way to have all the pizza because it's all the toppings with none of the crust and none of the other stuff. So obviously, if you love the crust, you love all the carbs of pizza like I do, that's a good fit. But when you're also in that mood for low carb, keto, quick, just fire it up in the microwave. Maybe you don't have time to preheat the oven and do the whole thing to make an amazing pizza. Palermo's has you covered. It is nothing but the toppings. They are pizza bowls. They're awesome. They got the multi-meat, the Italian-style meatball, the pepperoni, the supreme. Tons of protein in these things, up to 31 grams of protein in the servings and under 600 calories. It is a great, great fit. Palermo's raising the bar once again. They are Wisconsin's pizza, and they are also Wisconsin employer, community involved, so many different things. That's why we love Palermo's Pizza, all of their brands, including the Surfer Boy. I just picked up 2 new Surfer Boy pizzas this week, and love them all from Palermo's. All right. Palermo's picks. And the pick is going to be right now, somehow, has to be around the draft picks. So we got to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks and the NBA. You said to me, are the Bucks retooling things? What's going on with the Bucks?
I just, I saw some things that I liked. I saw that the Milwaukee Bucks are looking to maybe shift their scheme and shift what their identity is defensively and potentially. I'm assuming offense is always going to be Giannis and Dame, but defensively.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing, like you said, is Giannis and Dame, right? Like, we don't know what these two can be with an offseason, with health. And by the way, stop people with like, Giannis is okay for the Olympics, but he's not okay for the Bucks. Like, do you remember how long ago that was? I mean, Giannis is only going to be cleared and play in the Olympics if he's healthy.
You got to be a little nervous, though.
What?
You got to be a little nervous.
I mean, he plays basketball. He's a basketball player.
Yeah, I mean,
if he wasn't playing in the Olympics, he'd be playing. And do you think, and Giannis plays that hard and goes that hard with everything he does? I mean, he got hurt in a non-contact injury, right? I mean,
yeah, anybody gets a little nervous. I mean, that's all it is, just a little bit.
I know, but like the negativity that I've heard, and I'm sure it's a small group on social media, but like, oh, he could play for Greece, but he can't play for the Bucks.
Well, that's stupid.
I mean, Giannis obviously was working so hard to come back and play for the Bucks, and and wasn't anywhere close to being cleared to play. And that's why a month later, I don't think maybe in the last week he's been cleared, but as of a week,
he's still not practicing.
Yeah, as a week ago, he still wasn't cleared. He was running, he's playing basketball, he's trying to get back. But come on now, let's not get crazy. And I mean, better not be questioning Giannis. But it's be excited. NBA draft this Thursday.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Bucks have a few picks.
We got 2 picks in the first 33. You got to get it right.
You think? You think your Bucks are going to pick both of those?
Oh, no, please don't trade for a 32-year-old veteran.
Yeah?
Oh, gosh. You might as well go ahead. Just Craig, sign me up. I could be a water boy.
You're not trying to win a championship and go all in? You're trying to keep building future young guys?
I'm trying to get a mix. I want to get a mix of great. Get somebody that could be an instant impact rookie. Come on now, John Horst, who I saw playing pickleball. Almost charged him up like, who you drafting, John?
What about Ajax? He was one of those guys last year, right? You gotta like that pick.
You got to get more. I like the second round picks.
MarJon?
I like the second round picks. MarJon got to take a big jump this year.
Yep.
Big season.
Well, it is a big week. Thanks, everyone, for being part of it today. Let's stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Remember, don't settle. You have been listening to Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle, send us out.
Peace. This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Tired of looking at dusty, dirty, and cracked garage floors? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you how you can get a fresh new look with Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor. It's also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. Contact Showtime Floors today and mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge,